This is Nasha Kasha, Ukrainian Almanac, 28 minutes of stories for everyone about Ukrainian life. Nasha Kasha is heard on 18 campus and community radio stations from Newfoundland to British Columbia and around the world online. I'm your reporter Stefan Andrusiak. Я называюся Stefan Andrusiak, and this is our final program. It's episode 300. 6 років, 300 передач. Це є наша остання програма. Не будьмо сумними, бо кожний кінець є новий початок. I'm fascinated by language, particularly what we say and what we mean when using our words. I'm the descendant of Ukrainians who immigrated to Canada. I learned to read and to write their language in their home and at Ukrainian school, which I attended Tuesday evenings and Saturdays from grade 1 through to a high school level certification. Those who grew up in the Soviet system or later are far and away better at expressing themselves in Ukrainian. After all, they've lived what it means to be Ukrainian, so I listen carefully when they speak to me. When I introduced myself at the start of this broadcast in English, I said, I'm Stefan Andrusiak. In Ukrainian, I said something like, my name is Stefan Andrusiak. Were someone who grew up in Ukraine introducing themselves, they'd say, Мене звати Stefan Andrusiak, meaning, you can call me Stefan Andrusiak. It gets us roughly to the same place, or does it? Because you're telling me that I can call you Stefan, but is that your name? The name your parents gave you at birth, or, if you changed it, your legal name now? I can quote no empirical data, nor is there a peer-reviewed paper that I'm aware of. But it's my hunch that caution is at play here, that they've been betrayed by allies and neighbors they've thought were their friends for so long. Little wonder there's a need for some protective obscurity, some veil, just that sliver of extra armor. Russia, having signed a treaty promising to respect the territorial integrity of Ukraine, is poised on 3 sides, by land, by sea, by air, to invade. Why? Well, because it can. It can because it knows that Europe and Canada and everyone else who claims to express concern will not stand up when the time comes to truly protect Ukraine. Ask a Ukrainian who's grown up there, who has seen all this before. Tell me who you are. The answer that comes back is respectful. Were it me doing the talking, I'd reply, who wants to know?
Ой, у лузі калина, ой, у лузі калина, 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 чубарики, чубчики, калина, 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 чубарики, чубчики, калина. Там дівчина ходила, 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 чубарики, чубчики, ходила, 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 чубарики, чубчики, ходила.
What follows is my attempt to join the words of our listeners around the world who have sent me their audio files, their personal thoughts. Tell me, I asked, and you don't have to be Ukrainian to participate, I said, in words or in song, what it means to you personally when you hear the word Ukraine or Ukrainian.
Привіт, я Оксана. Я проживаю в селі. Що для мене Україна? Україна – це держава, яка має визначену територію, мову, культуру, історію. Українці – толерантні, ввічливі люди, які з повагою ставляться до будь-якої нації, до будь-якої мови. І тому на території України проживають різні національності. Багато українців проживають за кордоном, але свою мову, пісні, традиції вони не забувають. Ти мій край, любий край, Україно моя, я ж твоя рідна доня, зернинка, тут коріння моє, тут пісні солов'я, тому дзвінку зовусь українська.
День, якби лишився один, 2 дюжини годин, прожив би я тобою. Знов в очах не бачу дна, веди мого човна вогнями над водою. Ми не бачимо кінця, поєднує серця лише тоненька нитка. Час працює проти нас, працює проти нас, і час минає швидко. Час працює проти нас, працює проти нас, і час минає швидко.
This is Stefan Danchuk from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Yep, that country way down under. What does Ukraine mean to me? Well, as a youngster, it was a bit confusing at first, being Australian born with a foreign language in my belt by the age of 5, and that nobody else could understand. But as I grew up, I learnt a little bit about these chain-mailed, brass-helmeted men with long spears on horseback, transformed into sharavara and fancy stitched shirts and dancing the whole park. History is a mess sometimes. Eventually grew up and came to Ukraine a number of times. When somebody says Ukraine, the first thing that strikes me is that feeling deep down of being home. Having stepped off the plane, Kyiv, Lviv, doesn't matter where, walking down the streets the next morning, travelling on buses through the day, you felt at home, safe in familiar territory, strange having never been there before. That's what Ukraine means to me. Australia has a short heritage. I'm proud of the fact that I belong to a family line that belongs to a country that has a very, very long heritage and history. Something that you can't buy. Thank you for your programs. Nasha Kasha was a terrific show. I enjoyed it all the way around the country as I would drive up and down the coast via the internet on the stereo in the car. Terrific. Hope to hear from you again sometime soon. And I'm sure you'll be back with something special after you've had a nice break, because I know you cannot give this up. Thank you very much, and all the best to everybody from Australia. Until next time, we may meet again. Cheers.
Била мене мати березовим прутом, щоби я не стояла з молодим рекрутом, щоби я не стояла з молодим рекрутом, а я собі стояла, аж кури запіли на двері, воду ляла, щоби не репіли на двері, воду ляла, щоби не репіли. На двері воду ляла, на пальцях ходила, щоб мати не почула, щоб не сварила, щоб мати не почула, щоб не сварила, а мати не спала, чисто чула, на мене насварила. Сама така я була, на мене насварила. Сама така я була.
Hello, my name is Stefan Woloschuk. Yes, my friends, I am a Ukrainian Canadian. I'm a huge traditional Ukrainian. Even though I was born here in Canada, I never set foot in the Nasha Kasha. But I'm always forever singing Ukrainian songs here. And I live here in Hamilton, been living in the hospital for several years. My friends, I cannot stop singing. Always about a tune. Ukrainian traditional songs mostly, but I help it. There's also English songs to us, even Italian songs. Doesn't matter what it is. I love to sing. I love Nasha Kasha. Above all, I love the Ukrainian traditions. My goodness, how can you not? We have Rizdwo, the Strato, Sedvestrum, all the foods that we eat, the traditional foods, the borscht, kobasa, polshi, you name it. My goodness, if you can't be Ukrainian and not want to eat. I mean, my goodness. And above all, we love to sing. Hey, it's what is it? Whatever it is, if it's a problem, it's a problem I love to have. Because singing is the best medicines, my friends. We sing our songs, our traditional songs. We have the sad songs, happy songs, but they're songs. And my friends, Nasha Kasha, what a miracle, Stefan. I'm glad Stefan Woloschuk was a host of this wonderful show that he had. All 300 episodes, and this one being the last one. Stefan, happy for what you've done throughout your life. And my friend, your life is just beginning. So that's one. Stefan, all the best for you. Yes, all the best for all the Ukrainians, all the people in this world. You know what? I want everybody to stay safe. Будьте здорові. І слава Україні! Героям слава!
Зійдуться вітер потоками, ой, глибокими навесні. Забринить дорога та неспокоєм, далині тобі вдалині. Зимна осінь ще той світ листям не накрила, бо до тебе навесні я поверну смілий. Мої руки ти візьмеш знову у свої руки, не розквітне поміж нас жовтий квіт розлуки. Не ховай очей блакитний промінь, заспівай мені в останній раз. Пісню ту візьму собі на спомін, пісня буде поміж нас. Бо твій голос щедра повінь, ти мов козелик колоснею повен, жовтий лист спаде, виросте зелені, а ти в пісні будеш завжди біля мене.
Добрий день. My name is Andrea Lascu, and I reside in LaSalle, Ontario. I am so grateful that my parents taught me to speak Ukrainian at an early age and instilled values and morals and to be proud of my heritage. My mother, Katrusia Popovich Lashkiu, was born in Barimivtsi near Zborov. My father, Volodymyr Lashkiu, was born near Ternopil. My Yido, on my mother's side, Yulian Popovich, came to Canada in 1927 and left my babtia and 2 young children. After 6 years working in Canada as a craftsman to give his family a better quality of life, my Yido arranged to bring the family to Canada, finally settling in Toronto. The pioneers demonstrated their attachment to their language, heritage, culture, and traditions. My mother was the youngest to join the organization of MUN, the Young Ukrainian National Organization. She was an opera singer and at the age of 17 performed the lead role of Odarka in Zaporozhye za Dunajem in Montreal and toured Canada and the US. She was also the first violinist in the Ukrainian Symphony in Toronto. Both my mother and I performed at various events and concerts, even Suyazivka, as I am a classical singer and accomplished pianist. Both my parents were extremely active in the Ukrainian National Federation in Toronto and Windsor, UNO and OUK. My mother was also on the committee that formed Senior MUN, which was developed on the premise to keep young married couples active in the organization. My father played trumpet in an UNO band at Zabave. Дякую, Stefane, who is my cousin, for embracing the Ukrainian culture through your podcasts. In summary, Ukrainians rise up in defense of their liberty, to cling tenaciously to their identity, traditions, customs, and under the most difficult conditions, to create a culture of which any nation could be proud. Being a Ukrainian Canadian is in my soul and deep-rooted. I would like to leave you with one thought: Ukrainian and proud, Canadian and thankful. Let's stand with Ukraine to protect its sovereignty. Slava Ukraini! Heroyam slava!
Hi, my name is Irina Horbach. I was born in a small village in Chernihiv region, Ukraine, but now I live in Kyiv. When I hear the word Ukraine, I feel so proud I was born in such a great country with unique history, traditions, and people. To my mind, all of us have to remember and to carry deeply in the heart words by famous Ukrainian poet Володимир Сосюра. Любіть Україну, як сонце любіть, як вітер, і трави, і води, в годину щасливу і в радості мить, любіть у годину негоди. Любіть Україну, у сні й наяву, вишневу свою Україну, красу її вічно, живу і нову, і мову її солов'їну.
Nasha Kasha comes to you from Radio Western 94.9 FM on the campus of Western University in London, Ontario, Canada. We're heard on CHMR 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland, on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, on Local 107.3 FM in St. John, New Brunswick, on CJAS Radio 93.5 FM in Saint Augustine, Quebec, on CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal, on CFRC 101.9 FM in Kingston, on CFMU 93.3 FM in Hamilton, on CKMS 102.7 FM in Kitchener-Waterloo, on CJAM 99.1 FM in Windsor and Detroit, on CKLU 96.7 FM in Sudbury, on CILU 102.7 FM in Thunder Bay, on 101.5 UMFM in Winnipeg, on CJTR 91.3 FM in Regina, on CFMQ 98.1 FM in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan, on CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops, on CJSF 90.1 FM in Vancouver and on CHLY 101.7 FM in Nanaimo, British Columbia.
Hello, Привіт. My name is Oresia in Ukrainian, and I'm speaking to you from Medellin, Colombia. And I'm here on a trip to record some music. I'm in the process of recording a few songs, new singles, and also a few music videos in this beautiful country. What does it mean to be Ukrainian to me? Well, being born in Canada, I always wonder about your roots. My father was born in eastern Poland, and I also have cousins and aunties in Lviv area. So I went to visit them on and off throughout my childhood and also in my adult years. And I always felt this beautiful, strong kind of spirit there. My family is very hardworking, very colorful, the houses and the art within. A lot of musicality. Families and my friends, when they would get together and come over, we would bond over food and drinks and singing, breaking into 3-part harmonies. And I find the richness of this culture is just beautiful, just lovely. I'm really proud to be Ukrainian and also grateful to be able to delve back into my roots with my album, Crimea, that I released last year, and to share my culture with people that I meet every day, even in little ways, whether it's with food, borscht, or just subtle in my Ukrainian essence and way of being.
Weather is changing, so is my way. I can feel your intention under my skin. I can see right through what you tend to misconstrue. Don't even try, no. I can see it in your eyes. Keep playing your games and I'll be rising high, like the sunrise in the morning. I'm rising up and soaring. You're saying weather is changing.
Hi, my name is Lyuba Vaplyak, and I live in London, Ontario. When I hear the word Ukrainian, I am proud of my heritage and that I am able to freely celebrate it, being born and raised in Canada. It reminds me of being brought up in the Ukrainian Catholic Church and as a member of the Ukrainian Youth Association of Canada, as well as attending a Ukrainian school, playing the bandura, and attending Ukrainian summer camps. Мені це слово пригадує, як тяжко мої діди, баби та батьки працювали і старалися, щоб я вивчила мову, знала історію і плекала культуру. Тепер я маю ту саму відповідальність виховувати свою доню, щоб один день вона також була горда своїм походженням, продовжувала наші традиції.
Зродилися терки за горами, ідемо ми на них з кошиками. Будемо їх рвати, будемо таргати з конерами, з конерами. Будемо їх рвати, будемо таргати з конерами, з конерами.
Hello, my name is Andriy Olenets. I live in New York State. I remember when I first traveled to Ukraine in February of 2009. I was descending into the Ploshcha Rynok area in Lviv. And I was surrounded by everyday people that were probably rushing to work or to school or to some other place. This was a brand new world that opened up to me. And as I walked among the citizens of Lviv, all around me I heard Ukrainian language. And I had an epiphany. I realized that these are my people. And it brought me to tears. Since that time, I began traveling to Ukraine more often, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 times per year. And I was fortunate enough to become close friends with musicians, and I often traveled with them on tour around Ukraine. And this gave me a very unique perspective because I was able to see so much more of Ukraine than perhaps I would have as a tourist, and it gave me a unique perspective as well. I've traveled to Kyiv, to Kharkiv, Dnipro, Zaporizhia, Karpaty, and I've had the pleasure of meeting many, many different people of different strata, different spheres, and it brings me joy every time I go there. Ukraine for me means love. It means freedom. It means hard work, creativity, hospitality, intelligence. It means appreciating a big city or a small village. Whether I found myself in an eastern city like Berdyansk or a western city like Ternopil, I found a unique beauty. But right now, the beauty I see in Ukraine is in its resilience and in its fortitude. Ukrainians have united to fight their common enemy, which at this time would be Vladimir Putin. I see beauty in the soldiers that I've met who've left their families, their loved ones, to defend the nation that they love, and I pray for peace.
Partial funding for Nasha Kasha has been provided by the Shevchenko Foundation and by the Ukrainian Credit Union. I'm your reporter Stefan Andrusyak. До милої зустрічі, дорогі слухачі.